Think about the things that are close to your heart. We all have those things that are near and dear to us that we're passionate about, because if you're passionate about the organization or the cause that you're fundraising for, people are gonna feel that, and it's gonna spread, and it's gonna be a more successful fundraiser.
Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the other 99%, every seller matters. Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I am here with our co-host Susan Larimer, and we're recording. This is our first episode that we were recording in the new year, but you have heard us already in the new year, so we're basically saying Happy New Year, even though you've heard us already.
Yeah,
But
we're getting caught up on, like, how was your Christmas? How was your New Year? So, happy New
yeah,
Year.
it just feels a little odd. It's like I said to Susan, I feel like I forgot everything. It's like I feel like I'm doing this all new again. All right. So today we wanted to come on and chat with you a little bit about fundraising. I know that we did mention fundraising as sort of like in passing on one of the other episodes we've just done recently. And we said we should do a whole episode on fundraising. And I said to Susan, I said, I think this would be a great time at the beginning of the year to do it because we can help you sort of, and Susan is a great fundraiser. Just know that she had to actually speak at her national conference. Is it national
Mhm.
or yeah, national conference about fundraising. And so she was on the big stage and everybody was listening to her. And so she's going to share a little bit about what she shared with her company. And she's just like a wealth of knowledge. But the reason why I said it would be a great time to do it at the beginning of the year is that fundraisers can happen any time in the year. You don't have to keep them to, Christmas time or a specific time. However, there might be some dates in the calendar that you might want to mark because they make a great time to present fundraisers. So I'm going to pass this over to Susan and I'm going to get you to start sharing a little bit and then we'll just have a conversation and hopefully help you guys out and get your fundraising planned out for 2026.
Yay. Yes, I love fundraising because it's just such a win-win-win. Like, it feels good for you, you're growing your business, you're giving things to people who maybe aren't even expecting a gift. And the community, if you get the community involved, they feel good about donating also. So, like Lisa said, I got to speak at our conference last July on fundraising. I have a couple of fundraisers that I do year after year. And that's the thing too. Some people do a different fundraiser every month. They have a different organization that they donate to. They have maybe they're donating in memory or in honor of a loved one. I have three different ones that I do, and I've been doing them probably 3, 4 years now. So now people look forward to them, and I love that that consistency. When you have fundraisers that are successful, people will remember it year after year. So I'll just kind of go through how I do fundraisers and just be thinking of your own products and how you can implement a similar fundraiser using your own products. I have my products are skincare, lotion, makeup. I'm with lemongrass spa products. So you'll hear me talk about the skincare products and the lotions and lip balms. But think about your own products and how you can implement this fundraiser or the way I do it in your own way. So to start off, there's two different ways to do fundraisers too. I choose to not give my commission away. My lemongrass spa business is an income for me and my family. So I choose to give back in products, not in my commission. And some people are okay making money on a fundraiser. I choose to break even. Like, as long as I'm not out money and as long as I'm not making money, that's what feels right for me. but, use your own judgment however you want to feel. This is your business, and don't be ashamed to make money on a fundraiser either because it is a business. So like I said, I feel like fundraising is a win-win-win. It's a win for you and your business. You're growing, you're getting your name out there, you're spreading the word, new people are learning about your business. It's a win for the community and anyone who donates because people love to give back. And then it's a win for the recipients, the people who are receiving these products. 9 times out of 10, my people don't even know that they are receiving a product, and I'll tell you why. But when they receive this unexpected gift, they're just overwhelmed. So that just feels really good too. So a couple of things before we kind of dive into my specific fundraisers. A couple of tips to set you up for success. First of all, get in contact with an organization, and a local organization is better because then you will have local community, local people will recognize that organization and be more interested in donating to your fundraiser. So I had trouble with my Pink Balm fundraiser. Like, I reached out to a lot of cancer centers, hospitals, rehab places, and nobody would call me back. So don't stop after the first no or no response. Just keep plugging away because when you have that conversation with the right person and they get it, that it's free, that you just want to bless people with these gifts, then you'll have a really good connection. So local is always better. Next, you want to set up a donation or a fundraising goal. So if you just say, like, oh, I'm collecting money, no end to the collection, no goal, you're not going to do as well. But when you have a time frame, you have, okay, I need this much money by this date, people will know, okay, there's an end to this and there's a goal, and keep people up to date with how close you are to reaching that goal. Um, and then know your costs too. So if you're giving away products, know how much those products cost, including tax, including shipping. The first time I did this, I forgot about shipping, and it was like probably like $80 in shipping that I'm like, my gosh, like,
Mhm.
God, it was gonna cost that much. So know your costs, get things as inexpensively as you can. Maybe you're getting some supplemental gifts on Amazon, buy them in bulk. I can buy my products, some of the ones that I gave away, I can buy them in bulk. I used my consultant discount so that I didn't have to charge my donors a whole lot of money. I just charged them what I would be out as a consultant. So know your costs. Super important. And then super important also is to have an easy way for people to get you donations. You don't want to have people write you a check. You don't want to be
Mhm.
chasing people down for cash. So I use my Oh My High website. I have a payment page on there, and it has like a link tree. So it connects to Venmo, PayPal, credit card through Stripe. What else? I feel like there's another one that I'm missing. Maybe that's it. There's Zelle, there's different payment methods, but whichever method that your customers pay you with most conveniently, and the most the most often, then set that up. So then when my customers or my donors want to pay me, I can say, here is a secure payment link. Choose whichever way you want to pay. Each kit is $10 or $20. And people go on there, pay, PayPal, Venmo. I get notification, and it's super, super easy.
And I
So those
think when you have that, Susan, I think you come across as more credible too. So people are more likely to say, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and donate." And then you probably find that if you're asking for $10, some people might donate 20 or
30,
40 or
40,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yep.
it's good.
Yeah. So the first fundraiser I want to talk about, this is my Pink Healing Balm fundraiser. Lemongrass Spa has a Pink Healing Balm. It's only available in October. And it goes a lot of the I think $1 or $2 from each purchase goes back to breast cancer research. So that's another layer of fundraising that's happening on top of my little fundraiser. But like I said, I reached out to many different organizations. Nobody would call me back. Nobody would email me back. Finally, my local hospital, Shore Memorial Hospital, their cancer center representative called me back and she said, okay, like, I'm curious, like, I need to know more information. So I told her, what the pink balm was. And we talked about how many patients she has, and they receive chemotherapy and radiation. There's people there every day. And so I think we said an amount of 50 balms. But she said, before I go any further, our doctor is very protective of his patients and he wants to know exactly what ingredients are in the balm. And I was overwhelmed by that because I feel like today, not many people and healthcare professionals care about ingredients.
Hmm.
They're okay with like Dollar Tree ingredients and things that have carcinogens in them. And here we're trying to donate something to a cancer patient. So I was really impressed with that doctor. And I knew right away, I'm like, our products are so clean. So I sent them, copy and pasted all of our ingredients. She gave them to the doctor, and the next day he responded and he said, "Your ingredients were so impressive. Let's go ahead with this fundraiser." And I was so impressed by him, so that was kind of an added bonus. So what I did is started reaching out to my Facebook group. I posted on social media. I was charging, I think it was $15 per balm, so that would cover the cost of the balm and, tax and shipping. So if you make a nice round amount, that's
Hmm.
helpful too. You don't wanna be like 12.50 per balm, you don't wanna deal with change, so make it a nice even amount. And I started getting donations because I said, we are sponsoring patients at Shore Memorial Hospital. All of my local people know exactly where the hospital is. A lot of people had a loved one go through cancer treatment at that hospital. So you want to get those connections, those local connections are best. So I was getting the balm sponsored and we met our goal, and then we set up a date to drop off the balms. I did this with my teammate too. So get your teams involved in this. Make it a group effort, especially if you have a lot of local teammates, do it together. So we had our balms sponsored. So the pink little balm comes with a little label and talks about the ingredients. We got little organza bags from Amazon, packaged everything, and then we're able to deliver these balms. And it was so cool because they gave us a tour of the cancer treatment center. They showed us where they get radiation. We got to meet the nurses. Last year when I did it, I didn't get to meet this doctor, and I was determined this year, and this year I did get to meet him. And I told him, I said, "I was so impressed by you wanting to know what the ingredients were." And they were just so thankful because they got to hand out these balms over the course of about 6 months, I think. And the patients weren't expecting anything. But they just handed them out when a patient was having a really down day, or they saw that their skin was really feeling the effects of the chemotherapy or radiation, and they were just able to give this gift. And I got emails throughout the year, "Thank you so much. Another patient just received one and just felt so loved and so thought of." So makes me tear up a little bit. But that's the beauty of fundraisers. They're just such an amazing way to give back, and they make me feel good, they make the recipients feel good. So I just love doing them. So then another one that I do is my Adopt a Grandparent, fundraiser. I do that around Valentine's Day. So this will be my 3rd year doing that, and I've connected with local nursing homes. We have some members in our church who are at nursing homes, so we work with them. They tell us how many patients maybe are on their floor. And we had the first year I did it, I think we did 150, and then this past year, our goal was 200. So it comes with a lip balm, a lotion, a Valentine's Day card made by a first grade class at a local elementary school, which I think they love those cards more than they love the products. So get your local schools involved also. Then it had some candy in it and a little pack of tissues. So I was not selling them. I was asking for $10 donations for those, which is not much at all. And like I said, I want bare minimum, my discount. I just wanted to cover the cost of the product and shipping. So I had people donate, $10, $20, $30, but I got stuck at I think I was at like 150. And then I had already committed to, I think, two facilities. Like I needed 200 or else half of a floor would get these gifts and half would not. And, my friend at church, she's like, "What are you gonna do, Susan?" Like, she was panicking, and then she was panicking me, and I'm like, "Well, we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them." So, someone suggested I reach out to my local Facebook group. So, I don't know if you guys have, we have Linwood Live. We live in Linwood, New Jersey. Linwood Live is our city's Facebook group. When I lived in Harrison, Ohio, it was Harrison Happenings.
Yeah, I think they have them all.
Yeah,
Like, ours is like a Q&A, usually a Q&A site, and
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I reached out there. ChatGPT helped me come up with a very heartfelt message. I had pictures of the little kits I was getting sponsored. I told them how many I needed, where the kits were going, and I'm like, "I'm stuck. Like, I need 50 more." And I had so many generous donations come in. One gentleman, he gave me $200. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. He sponsored 20 kits. And he sent me a private message and he said, "Don't stop when you reach 200." And I thought that was really good advice. If I get 250, that's 50 more residents somewhere, some local nursing home that is going to get them. So every dollar that came in went towards one of those kits, and I got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Um, so then delivering them was so much fun. I got a couple of my friends together and we went room to room. Sometimes they would coordinate so that we could have like 30 people in a room at one time in like a general area, and we just went around to each one, and the Valentine's Day cards were a huge hit, like I said. But then you could see the patients like putting the lotion on and smelling their hands and trying the lip balm, and they were thrilled. Um, Remember to take pictures too of your fundraiser. Take pictures if you're allowed, ask for permission, but that way you can use them again next year when you're getting ready for the next fundraiser. And then the last fundraiser I do every year is our Freedom Feet fundraiser. And we have a great little foot care kit that is sent to active duty overseas soldiers, men and women. So they are, I think they're $26. So I advertise that usually around like 4th of July. Flag Day is June 14th, 4th of July, somewhere around there. I do the Freedom Feet campaign. And this is a great way for parents who have sons and daughters who are serving in the military. They love this campaign. Everybody does. I mean, everybody wants to take care of our soldiers because they are working hard, protecting us day and night, year after year. So that's another fundraiser I do. And kind of a fun story. Another reason why you should have a website and you should blog. Um, Recently, I guess it was in June, I had a soldier reach out to me and she emailed me from one of my blogs or sent me a comment, I think. And she said, "How can I get a hold of these kits for my troop members?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, how did you find me?" And she found me on my website because someone else had a Freedom Feet kit or received one. And she's like, "How can I get more of these?" So she reached out to me I said, "How many do you need? I will take care of everything." She said, "75 kits." Now this was back in June. So I has my had my fundraiser going on. I sent the address to Lemongrass Spa Products, and had those kits sponsored. Lemongrass sent them out probably June, July, and then I didn't hear from her. And I'm like, did you get the kits? Like, I kinda like to be a part of the beginning to the end, and I felt a little lost, but it was right before Christmas. She sent me a picture of a Christmas tree in their tent, and it had all 75 kits underneath the tree. So she said, "Thank you so much." Like, they were all Christmas presents. So she received them and was saving them for Christmas. So then she sent me that, and that just made my day. So those are the 3 main fundraisers that I do. And I just wanna encourage you, it doesn't have to be big. Just start small, have a goal, say, "Hey, I wanna sponsor 20 of these kits or 20, whatever it is that you sell." Maybe it's food, meal prep items, and you can probably speak more on that, Lisa. But have a goal, start small, and then do it the next year. Maybe get a little bit bigger. Share the pictures of how successful it was the year before, and just let it grow and grow and grow. So that's
Yeah.
my spiel, Lisa.
Yeah, when I was doing Epicure, I had a yearly fundraiser. It was a reoccurring fundraiser. Um, I can't remember how exactly I met this lady, but she sponsored refugees. And every year we did a fundraising campaign, and Epicure had a fundraising kit. So those were part of it. But because the kits had to be sent to one specific address, they couldn't be mailed out all over the place. It was kind of hard for her to reach everyone that she knew across the country. So what we ended up doing is we would combine that with a just like a regular catalog type party. And what I would do is I would give a portion of my commission in lieu of the host rewards. So basically, I was getting paid with host rewards. Now, keep in mind that I was savvy with it and I knew how to use those host rewards to turn it into cash because I would just take a whatever when somebody was placing an order directly through me, I would just put that towards the host rewards and I would keep the cash. So I didn't really lose any income. Um and eh, and I always like to say this, like a lot of people feel very odd taking an income from a fundraiser, but I always like to remind people, those companies that are doing the almonds and the gift wraps and the stuff like that you get through school, they're making a lot of money.
True.
So it is okay for
Yeah.
you to continue to earn your income. Like you don't need to um, wash even if you're hosting fundraisers. What I usually did at the end is I would put together a basket, so I'd give a portion of my commission back anyway, and they would do a big event, and then they would have a big basket done up where they would sell tickets for that. So it was just a secondary source of fundraising for them. So that always worked out well. We also had a lot of people in Epicure where they would do like around Christmas time, we would get like it was like a big Advent type box, and it was called Merry Month of Meals, and they would get people to sponsor them and then take them to the food banks. And so one box of meals would be like a month's worth of meals, and people would sponsor them, and then somebody would come in and get this like big gift on Christmas. So that was kind of neat too. So think about it. I mean, Susan's products pair well with like giving a gift to a grandparent or a cancer patient, something like that. But if you're sitting there thinking like, okay, well, how do I do this? Like how do I work my products into this? Well, you don't always have to give away your products. even though it is great to get your products out there, you can do a portion of your commission. That's okay. But it's something that you need to think about to see whether it works in your business. I know that a lot of people are running their direct sales business and they can't afford to give that 20% away. Well, then maybe that's when you say, okay, well, you sponsor a product and we'll give that product away.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways that you could do fundraising.
And if you're not
Um,
sure, like, how your products fit in, I'm just thinking my niece was recently in the hospital and, she was there for a couple of days, and on the last day she was there, she received a gift basket from a woman whose daughter had passed away from I'm not sure if it was from cancer or what, but every year the mom donates a gift basket to a patient around the same
mhm,
age as her daughter. I think she was 21 years old. And so that was just she got like a big, a travel mug, she got some candy. So even that, I mean, if you're in the jewelry business or,
mhm.
something that's not consumable, you can put together a great basket and just once a year donate to someone who's in the hospital and not feeling well. Because my gosh, my niece was like, you know, crying because she's like, "That's
Yeah,
so thoughtful." She wasn't expecting it at all.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Like so many different ways that you could do it, right? Um, Another thing we used to do was buy one, give one. So we used to do this a lot with our mac and cheese. So buy a 3-pack of mac and cheese and then donate a 3-pack
Mm.
of mac and cheese. So they would just double the cost and or double the price and then you would keep three packs to donate and they would get their 3 packs. And that went over quite well.
So you
So something
donate
like
to, like,
that.
local food pantries or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I found that our food bank wasn't receptive to donations. They I should rephrase that. They're receptive to donations, but specific donations like this where um you were saying, okay, I'm going to collect items that you could give as gifts. They said that if we couldn't ensure that we were going to give enough to give every participant, that they couldn't do it.
okay,
So it was like, well,
yeah,
that's kind of, I can't commit to like 300 things. So I connected with local churches
okay,
and they were more than happy to take the donations in for their food pantries. Um, and yeah, they welcomed us with open arms that way. So I used to do it for the food pantries in town. And then like the odd time I would do like just a general fundraiser that would donate to the food bank. But when we were doing something specific like the mac and cheese buy one give one, it usually went to the churches
yeah,
in town or like the shelters or something like that. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's why it's so important to, meet with a representative so that you know all of the expectations. What are they expecting from you? What are you expecting from them? Be very clear in your goals and what you offer.
Yeah, and I always say make sure you reach out because I've seen many consultants will do their fundraising without actually connecting with someone in
Mm,
the organization.
yeah,
So what would you do if that person reached out to you and said like, I don't know anything about this fundraiser. Like,
yeah,
are you donating cash to us? Are you donating items? So it's always best to contact someone at the organization and say, okay, this is my intention. This is what I like. Are you okay with that? And if I wouldn't have done that with our food bank, they would have been like, "Well, no, we didn't okay this," and
yeah,
I would have shown up with all these things, right? And it's like, so I always say make sure you reach out to somebody first,
yeah,
um, to make sure that it's okay to do it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm just wondering, Susan, do you think like are there specific times throughout the year that are better for fundraising, or do you say like you could just do it at any time?
So, I mean, the holidays, October, November, everybody's already in the focus of giving back. Those are just really big fundraising months. October with breast cancer awareness, I think, is a huge time, and it's before people are panicking and spending like crazy for the holidays. December, I don't know if that's such a good month because everyone's hyper focused on, "Oh my gosh, I already spent so much." But, definitely October, and then think about, different holidays, but also think about, like, maybe you lost a loved one in the month of February, and you wanna do a fundraiser in honor of that loved one. Um, if it's a specific, disease or cancer that that person died from, there's gonna be other people who have been touched by that disease or know someone else, Alzheimer's or, um there's so many different things you can think of, but kind of do something in honor of that family member or that loved one. So it could be then that can be any month. Um, I also had another, teammate who every month she would have her group members nominate a mom in need or a mom who could really use a pick me up this month. And then those host rewards would be given to that mom, and she would get, a shopping spree. So you can think about that too. But think about the things that are close to your heart. We all have those things that are near and dear to us that we're passionate about, because if you're passionate about the organization or the cause that you're fundraising for, people are gonna feel that, and it's gonna spread, and it's gonna be a more successful fundraiser. So, I don't know,
Yeah.
what else do you think, Lisa?
I mean, really any time is a good time to fundraise, right? You don't really have to have a specific time of year, but what I would recommend, like we're in January right now. Take a look at your products well. Take a look at the calendar and take a look and see what time of year would work well with your products, right? Thinking about for food, like Easter time, well, you can collect and give to local pantries or food banks or something like that. Um, fundraising at Valentine's Day works well with you for your grandparents, right? So there's different times of year, but then you can also put a call out to your customers and ask them if they would help you spearhead like a fundraising like event. You never know like what's out there and what you could do that they might have something that's near and dear to their heart
Yeah.
that they would work with you because then you have such a further reach, right? They might have a group of people that they usually connect with. I know that there's a group that I know through Facebook that their kids are heart kids. Like they've
Mm,
gone through issues. They were born with defects and stuff like that. And they work well in doing fundraisers for them, like for their hospitals, the Sick Kids Foundation and stuff like that. So it never hurts to ask people
yeah.
if there's some way that you can help them raise funds for something near and dear to their heart,
And I'm
right?
thinking too, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I just looked it up. My mom has Parkinson's. April
Mhm.
is Parkinson's Awareness Month. I'm sure Alzheimer's has a month. So find that thing that you're passionate about, that disease or cause that you're connected with, and then find out what month of the year is that big fundraising initiative for that cause. So maybe we can put together a something in the chat with some of the more well-known diseases and
Mhm.
causes, and take a look and see which one, really resonates with you. I had never thought about Parkinson's. I mean, my mom has it, and that's in April. So now I'm thinking, okay, what kind of products can pair well or be really beneficial to my mom or someone like my
Mhm.
mom. So I'm thinking of balms for your muscles and balms to relax your muscles. So that might be another fundraiser that I introduce this year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think we have given you guys a lot to think about. Tons of tips. Susan, like she said, is going to put together some little document that we'll put in the show notes. So be sure to check the show notes and grab that link, and you can take that information. And we'd love to hear what kind of fundraisers that you guys do. We love chatting with you guys, whether it's on social or just DM us, or you can reach us through our websites. So, take a listen and let us know what you think about fundraising and what you have planned for 2026. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week on another episode of The Other 99%. Take care, everyone.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Other 99%. We just want to say thank you. It truly means the world to us that you're here. Lisa and I absolutely love creating these episodes for you, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to like, share with a friend, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We drop fresh content every Tuesday. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Leave us a comment. Want to be a guest on the show? We would love to chat with you. Apply by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks again for spending time with us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Other 99%.